Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for your second Chelsea news video of the day. We've got the new Chelsea shirt back on and we have got a blockbuster Chelsea news video for you guys here. So if you're enjoying the multiple videos a day here on GBFC, please hit the like button on this video to show me that you are enjoying yourself. And if you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you never miss an upload here on the channel. We have got a lot to go through here today and it's all very good news, or exciting news indeed. It was slightly negative this morning. There wasn't much to report on any kind of movements about any incoming transfers, but Chelsea rejected a 40 million bid for Gallagher, which, reading the comments that you guys have left on that video, a lot of you think that, good, we should try and squeeze a little bit more out of this one to get more than 40 million for Gallagher. If we can push to 45, 50, that would be mental and would free up a lot of money for other positions across the field. And a lot of you also thought 40 million's a bit good. We should be accepting it if he's surplus to requirements. And as we're going to talk about today, Chelsea are moving in the market for midfielders. Then maybe it's time Gallagher goes. I think we are going to see over the course of the next few days some big progressions in all of Chelsea's business, be it Gallagher leaving, Hudson-Odoi leaving, midfielders, Caicedo as well. We're going to talk about him because there's good news on this front. But we start off with Chelsea are close to agreeing personal terms with Mohammed Kudus. He'll likely cost £40 million. This is from Ben Jacobs. Mohammed Kudus of Ajax. What an exciting player. I think in terms of what Chelsea will be looking for with our midfield next season, selling Conor Gallagher and bringing in Mohammed Kudus, in my opinion, it is an upgrade. Now, I love Conor Gallagher. You guys know that. I did think he could have a big part to play under Pochettino until we saw the news dropping yesterday that Gallagher was surplus to requirements at Chelsea. The great thing I love about Kudus is the fact, once again, that he can play anywhere across the midfield and he's good at dropping deep. Chelsea, we don't just want to be relying on Caicedo if he comes in, winning the ball, giving it to Enzo. Enzo pumps it forward. Having Kudus gives Chelsea that ability to potentially play with a three in midfield. And I think Mohammed Kudus would do a great job at bringing the Chelsea team together to be kind of a bit like a glue when it comes to, you look at the personnel and you look at the ability of potentially a Caicedo. I'm saying that with more confidence here. We're going to talk about him in a minute. The brilliance of Enzo. I think Kudus, the fact he likes to drop deep, brilliant at finding passes between the lines, but also finding himself in those areas as well. And you look at the output of Mohammed Kudus last season at Ajax, he scores goals, he gets assists, and he can play anywhere across a midfield front line, but also that ability to drop deep will be so useful when connecting defence to midfield to attack for Chelsea. And I think having a player that dynamic in the squad, Chelsea are onto a winner here. He's also not training with the Ajax squad today, which probably tells you, when Chelsea are close to agreeing personal terms, the £40 million is not going to be an issue. That is going to be enough to bring Mohammed Kudus to Chelsea. The reason why is because he has minor complaints and has decided to stay inside. I don't think it's because he's got hay fever and maybe today it's going to flare up a little bit more than usual. I think this is probably because Mohammed Kudus knows that a move to Chelsea is very close indeed. We have seen these Kudus talks, the links come in the past 3 days or so, and Chelsea seem to be moving quickly. We have done great business with Ajax before. We have a good working relationship with Ajax. So I do think this Kudus deal will probably be done very soon indeed. And for me, we're going to talk a lot more when Chelsea start to place bids, accepted, and then, you know, we're going to talk more about Kudus when it happens. But as for my excitement levels, I'm buzzing about this one. He's a brilliant player, will bring goals from midfield, and that is what Chelsea have desperately needed. The next story, Moises Caicedo, ladies and gentlemen. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed, despite us saying that talks have broken down, it's gone a bit quiet, there was a big gap between the prices, Brighton and Chelsea, Brighton aren't budging, Chelsea talks are still on. 30 million. If we were just going to pay it, we'd have done it by now. We'd have got it over and done with. Chelsea and Brighton don't want to be negotiating. Chelsea don't want to be spending all their time trying to get Caicedo. Caicedo don't want that because he wants to be a Chelsea player. And Brighton, they want to know if Chelsea are going to get him so that they can bring in their replacement. That's what De Zerbi's been saying the whole time. I was starting to think that communications between both Chelsea and Brighton were dead. It looked as though we're sat here just with our hands in the air thinking, well, if it's not him, then who the bloody hell is it going to be? Romeo Lavia just seems to move closer and closer to this move to Liverpool every single day. It's about whether Liverpool will pay what Southampton are asking for, but that one will happen eventually, very, very soon. So, with Caicedo, I think a lot of this will depend on how quickly Conor Gallagher is sold. Chelsea know, we know now, that Chelsea want to sell Gallagher. We don't need to talk about this anymore. The first bid of 40 million was rejected. Chelsea want 50 million for Gallagher. The question is Caicedo worth 2 of Gallagher? I think at this point, probably yes. We want to be signing our top targets. We don't want to be giving Pochettino second choice players, but not only that, we don't want to be bringing his second, third, fourth choices when we have literally had Caicedo on the end of the flipping fishing rod the whole summer. But it's just like, do we have the strength to pull him in? And the analogy works in the sense of, do we have the money to pay what Brighton want? It is very simple. Chelsea, get it done. We say the same thing in every video, but positive news, talks are still on. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Kudus, Caicedo, is that enough for Chelsea's midfield if we sell Conor Gallagher? Or do you still think we need another on top of those 2 players? Right, Kylian Mbappé. We've got to talk about it again here because you guys laugh. Chelsea can't sign Kylian Mbappé. We can't afford to buy Kylian Mbappé. Well, this incredible saga has taken another twist for the worse if you're PSG, because Mbappé has rejected the opportunity to move to Al-Hilal and become, without question, the highest paid sportsman on planet Earth. Doesn't want to play in Saudi Arabia. And I think as much as you can look at the finances and think, well, why don't you want to become a billionaire within 1 year? That's okay, fine, you don't want to do it? Respect, Kylian. Your footballing career is worth more than your bank balance. I rate that, I really do. He wants to stay in Europe, and because of this agreement with Real Madrid, I think English clubs, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, we know that we can't sign Kylian Mbappé permanently. He doesn't want that. But also, PSG are due to pay Kylian Mbappé 60 million euros in a loyalty bonus if he's still a PSG player on the 1st of August. So in a week's time, if Mbappé is still a PSG player, he gets 60 million euros in a bonus. His contract states he gets the gross fidelity bonus in installments subject to certain conditions. So this is absolutely insane, right? I can't go more into this story without just laughing, because what is being touted now is that PSG could be willing to loan Kylian Mbappé for a year, and that could be probably towards a team not in the Champions League, because PSG want to win the Champions League. So why would you loan Mbappé to Real Madrid when they're going to buy him next year? That's not going to do it. Man United are in the Champions League, PSG competing with him directly. Mbappé to Chelsea, all of a sudden, once again, seems a little bit more likely. If he's rejected Saudi Arabia and he only wants the Real Madrid move next year, PSG will owe him 60 million euros more in a week. I can only see a loan here being a feasible option, and I think Chelsea will probably be in the pole position. I don't think he'd want to go on loan to Inter Milan for a season. If he wants to sign for Real Madrid, he's not going on loan to Barcelona for a season. So Mbappé for a year, as much as I said I didn't really want him the other day because of all of the additional problems that come with it, for a loan for a season, why not? I mean, I don't see what else Paris Saint-Germain can do, because I don't think Mbappé wants anything other than to play for Real Madrid. I think that is just black and white. Otherwise, he'd have just made himself a billionaire and gone to Al-Hilal for a year. He doesn't want that either. I'm telling you now, this is arguably one of the craziest footballing stories in the history of football. And because Chelsea is semi-interested in it, I've got to keep talking about it, because the fact that he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, I've absolutely got to say credit to him. He wants Real Madrid. He doesn't really care if he leaves Paris Saint-Germain for free. PSG don't believe that Mbappé wants to extend his contract, but they have left the door open to him. Paris Saint-Germain here are desperate. They're like, if your girl goes and cheats on you 5 times in a week, yet you're still pining for her, she can go and do it again, over and over again, and it doesn't matter, because you're always going to try and get her back. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing how PSG, they're twerking for Mbappé over and over again. But a loan move, they're saying on Sky, it could be doable. Maybe for the narrative of Mbappé versus Haaland, the 2 Manchester clubs, United could get him for a year, but will PSG want to loan Mbappé to a Champions League club? I don't think so. So, I'm sat here today, on Tuesday, the 25th of July, and I'm telling you, I've got a funny feeling. If Mbappé goes on loan, it would be to Chelsea over any other club in Europe. Mbappé to Chelsea on loan. If that's what happens, and it is a loan, not a sale, then he comes to Chelsea. That is my honest belief. For 1 year, we don't have to worry about, oh, is he going to want to leave for Real Madrid? Yes, he is. We don't have to try and spend 300 million quid on him, or something stupid, 250 million, just for him to bugger off to Real Madrid. A loan? Come on, let's just do it, shall we? Let's jump in for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. In other news, Harry Kane to Bayern Munich is at a crucial point. Is there any way that Chelsea can hijack this move? We got Nicholas Jackson, don't worry about that. Anyway, subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. If there's any more breaking news and I'm still awake, I'll drop another video for you lot, because we are firing on GBFC. Thank you so much for the love and support. Come on, you Blues.